Bonjour y'all. Many times I hear people tell me that they're not flexible enough for yoga. So what I'd like to show you today is that you don't have to be flexible, just open-minded. Yoga gets you to the flexible part. So let's start by sitting on our mats, and we're going to work the areas that people hold the most stress in. So the neck, the chest, the back, and the hips. So let's come to a nice seated position, nice and comfortable for you. Let's just start to rotate our necks. And if at any point you feel like there's a little more tension, hang out in that area and invite the breath into that area, just to release any tension you feel. Make sure you stop and reverse the motion. We want to work both sides. All right, let's drop the right ear towards the right shoulder. Taking the right hand, place it on top of the head, and just put some very gentle pressure here. Just enough to get a little tug on the left side of the neck. Remember, we're working with the neck, which is a very tender area, so we don't want to put any unnecessary stress there. And we're going to release that side. We're going to drop the left ear to the left shoulder, left hand on the head, gentle pressure. And you may notice that one side feels more tension than the other. Simply notice that. Don't pass judgment on anything. Continue to breathe throughout your stretches. And release that. And we're sitting up nice and tall. So imagine the spine is in a straight line. There's an invisible stream that comes from the crown of your head up to the ceiling. On an inhale, we're going to roll our shoulders up towards our ears. Exhale, roll them down the back and relax. And this is the posture you want to attempt to maintain the entire time. Again, we're using the word attempt because it's a practice, okay? So now we're just going to start to move our body, rotating the body. So you might notice some tension in the upper part of the hip, lower part of the back. And again, if you feel that tension, hang out in that area. Invite the breath into it, letting that tension release. And then reverse the motion. Noticing if there are any differences on this side. All right, coming back to your neutral position. Spine is elongated. Shoulders are relaxed down the back. On an inhale, we're taking the arms overhead. Exhale, we're hinging at the hips, releasing our hands to the floor, trying to maintain that neutral back position. So if as far as you can go is here with the neutral back, stay here. You can go a little further, go a little further. This is your practice. And we're going to walk the hands over to the right side. Again, we're trying to maintain that neutral position in our back. And walking back through center over to the left. and back to center. On an inhale, we're going to start to walk our hands back towards our body, coming back up to that neutral back position, seated up nice and tall. Okay, we're going to take our hands and place them behind our hips. Our feet come out in front of us and they're flat on the floor. Knees are pointed up towards the ceiling. And you might adjust your seating position just to kind of give you some more room to move your legs, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to start working on the hips. So we're just going to start windshield wipering the legs side to side at your own pace. Again, anytime you feel any tension, hang out in that area. Invite the breath in and allow it to release that tension. And if you feel like you need a little bit more, we're going to invite the cross body. So hip comes down, arm comes over. Next side, over. So we're just adding an extra stretch in here across the body, almost like you're trying to reach the opposite wall. Stretch. And then if you want to take it one step further, we're going to plant the bottom leg, lift the hip, and stretch through. Pushing the hips forward. Now, if at any time any of this feels unsafe to you, painful to you, don't do it. This is a progression, and you only take the progression if it's available to you. And let's start slowing that back down. We're going to just go back to the stretch. And then back to the windshield wiper legs. Good job. All right. Now we're going to move into our tabletop position. So we're coming up onto our hands and our knees, and we're going to make sure our fingers are separated completely, okay? And we're going to dig our fingertips into the mat. Now, alignment here should be your wrists directly under your shoulders and your knees directly under your hips. And we're just going to begin to sway back and forth. Bring in some gentle motion. And you might rock back and forth, warming the wrist up a little. Then we're going to move into some cat-cows. So on an inhale, you're going to open the chest, drop the belly, chin comes up. Exhale, you're rounding the back, tucking the tailbone and the chin. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, round the belly, the back. And we're just going to do a few of those at your own pace. Noticing any sensations you have. We're going to come back to a neutral back position. And we're going to take our knees a little bit wider than hip distance, and we're going to take our big toes and point them towards each other. Okay, now a little bit wider than hip distance is going to vary depending on who you are and what your comfort level is. We're going to sink our hips towards our heels. Walk our hands out down the mat and allow our chest to melt into the mat. Now pushing up slightly through our right arm, we're going to take our left arm on an inhale, open it up towards the sky. Exhale, we're threading it under. Inhale, we're opening. Exhale, threading. One more time, inhale up. Exhale, threading it under. And we're relaxing back into this pose and getting a nice shoulder stretch here. And we're going to push back through the right hand, return the left hand out front. Couple more breaths here. And we're going to do the opposite side, so pressing through the left hand. Inhale, right arm goes up. Exhale, we're threading. Inhale up. Exhale, we're threading. Inhale up. And exhale, we're threading through. Relaxing into the pose. Pressing through the left hand, we're returning the right hand out in front of us, back into child's pose. I'm going to push our hips back up, return back to a tabletop position. So our alignment is wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. All right, what we're going to do now is we're going to work on our hip flexor. So we're going to pull our right leg through and walk the left knee back just a little bit. So you're in this extended lunge position. All right, and what you're going to do is you're going to create enough tension in this hip flexor that you begin to feel a stretch. So maintaining this 90-degree angle in this front knee. This one you're going to walk back enough to get that lengthening going on. You should feel that stretch. We're going to hang out here for just a moment. Now we're going to push the hips back towards the heel, allowing the right toes to come off the floor, and you're going to feel a stretch in the back side of the right leg. Then back up, so your knees back at 90 degrees. We're going to take that right shin and lay it parallel to the front of the mat. All right, your left leg is already extended. So now this is your pigeon pose. So you should get it, the groin area, the hip flexor, and the hips. All right, we're going to return this leg back into our tabletop position. And now we're going to do all that on the left side. So we're going to take the left leg through, moving the right knee back, creating that tension in that right hip flexor. Shifting the hips back, left toes come up, getting the stretch in the back of the left leg. And again, the depth that you go with these stretches is 100% dependent upon you and how your body feels. So you have some people that feel this stretch right here. You have some people that will come all the way down. Again, this depends on you and your current flexibility level. Or just, you worked out the day before and you're pretty tight in these areas and your body's not going to let you go any further. That's okay. Walk back up so your knees at 90 degrees. Sliding that foot across so the shin's parallel with the front of the mat. Our nice pigeon stretch. All right, we're just going to roll onto our backs from here. All right, so we're on our backs. We've got our knees bent, so our feet are flat on the floor. We're going to take our left foot up, cross it over the right knee. Okay? Now you've just created this figure 4 position. You're going to take the right hand through the hole that you've created. Your right hand around the back of the thigh. The left hand goes through the hole. Okay? And you're going to pull the legs up towards your chest. Release that. And now we're going to allow to let the left foot fall towards the floor. Okay? And you're going to keep your shoulders as close as possible to the floor. You don't want to come all the way up on your side. You still want this gentle rotation in your back. All right, come back up to center. We're going to switch sides. So the right foot is crossing the left knee. Right hand goes through the hole. Left hand grabs behind. And we're pulling in towards our chest. Releasing that foot back down to the floor, and we're going to invite the right foot to cross over the body onto the left side of the floor. Rotation in the back, shoulder can come slightly off the floor. If you've got shoulder problems, it's going to happen, or not a lot of flexibility, and that's okay. We just don't want you over. We want that rotation here. Turning back. Now go ahead and extend the legs long down the mat. Arms come beside you. Closing your eyes. Just noticing the things around you. We're preparing for our Savasana, so we want to begin to bring the breath back into a steady rhythm that is natural for our bodies. Just notice everything around you. Does anything feel different than it did when we started? Is the temperature the same or different? What about the sounds, the smells? Just take notice without judgment. Bring your awareness into your breath, noticing how your body feels as the air enters your nostrils and your belly expands. And then noticing how it feels as it leaves your body. Belly is relaxed, navel drawn towards your spine, and the air exits. Are there any colors involved? Does it change colors as the air enters and exits? Just follow the breath and take a few moments to relax. Savasana. Let's begin to deepen the breath. Bring awareness and gentle movement back to your body. You might wiggle your fingers and your toes. Rotate your wrists. Point and flex your feet. When you're ready, you'll take a big stretch overhead. And then you'll roll over to your favorite side in the fetal position and hang out there for just a moment, holding on to these last few moments together. And when you're ready, we're going to slowly begin to come back to our seated position. And if you can, keep your eyes closed to hold on to the experience. Once you get to seated position, we're going to take one more big inhale together as our arms come overhead, palms touch in the middle. Exhale, we're pulling those palms down to heart center. I want to thank you for being here with me today and sharing this experience. As always, I hope you know that you are strong, you are smart, you are worthy, and you are loved. Gently bow. Namaste. So what I wanted to show you today is that you do not have to be a pretzel in order to do yoga. Yoga is not about putting you in these awkward positions where your legs behind your head and all of this. I mean, there are some people that can do that, and that's fine. Their body allows it. But this practice that I wanted to show you is all about how you feel in your body and what your body allows you to do. So if you've ever felt like yoga is not for you because you're not flexible, I would invite you to give it a try. Keep your mind open. Do my courses here online, find me in person, ask me questions, and I'll help you out. So if you liked what you've seen here, and if you've learned anything, please like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time on Wellness for Everybody.